Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, welcome back for another episode of Business Ninjas. This is Kelsey here today with Ben Wood. He's the CEO and founder at Angora. Ben, welcome to the show.
Kelsey, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So Ben, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I actually am an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for a long time, about 8 years. I would say my whole life I've been an entrepreneur, but I've really dove in over the last 8 years, primarily in the e-commerce space and also product development. Specifically overseas, I've worked a lot with China and other Asian countries. I speak Mandarin Chinese. I've been to China several times,
Mhm.
and yeah, I mean that's basically it.
Yeah, sweet. So tell me about Angora.
Yeah, so we actually are an e-commerce portfolio company. So the way that we've set up our company is we partner with our clients to build new e-commerce brands.
Mhm.
And right now we have just over 100 different e-commerce brands in our portfolio. Um, and of these brands, we launch products for all of them very consistently. Right now, on average, we launch a brand new product every single day. And really, what that means is we're launching products on the Amazon marketplace.
Mhm.
So we sell exclusively on Amazon because it's such a high volume marketplace. Um, and it's always made sense to sell on Amazon just given how much traffic and how many different categories are on Amazon. There's over 60 million listings on Amazon alone, and so we've found such a high demand for uh, providing products on the Amazon marketplace.
Mhm. That's really interesting. So talk to me a little bit about how companies would get involved with Angora from the beginning.
Yeah, so the way we started was we had some very simple lead generation methods. Once we closed our first few clients, from there really everything else became referrals
Mhm.
for the most part. But from existing clients referring other clients, it's a pretty smooth process as far as learning about Angora.
Mhm.
But outside of that, we put out a lot of content with our blog, with social media, our website, and we're pretty active as far as like being engaged in the e-commerce community or in the product community on these social media outlets. And so for a customer or a prospective client, they may see us, on LinkedIn, or they may see our blog. And that's really, that's the initial impression that they have, or that's the initial impression that's made
Mhm.
when they, first hear about Angora.
Mhm. 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 So how would they work to get involved with you now then?
Yeah, so after they've made that first impression, really it's a matter of just sharing the, what ultimately what we're doing, and how we're different. And so, we, like I said, we partner with every single one of our clients. We're not a traditional agency where, we charge a monthly retainer. The way we work is we have an initial service fee, and then from there we run on a profit share model. So in exchange for our services of maintaining and managing these businesses that we build with our clients, um, we retain a 30% profit share. And so we really dive into that and how it's different, like I said, from a traditional agency. If we aren't helping our clients make money, then we're not going to be able to make money.
Mhm.
Essentially, if our clients aren't winning on Amazon, then we aren't either. And really that's how we're able to generate revenue, is through that profit share that we have with all of our clients.
Mhm. Mhm. So talking about your clients, what would your ideal ICP be?
Yeah, so I would say, most of our customers, they've never sold on Amazon before, but we get a lot of existing business owners.
Hmm.
We get a lot of people that come from real estate, uh, and really it's people that have the capital to essentially build a business because that's what we're doing.
Okay.
And so, that's anywhere from, like I said, real estate investing or existing business owners or investors in general that have an interest in the e-commerce space, but don't
Yeah.
necessarily know how to approach it or how
Right.
to manage it.
Okay. So talking about like existing business owners, you talked about real estate. Are there other trends of companies that you tend to see Angora interfacing with?
As far as like competing companies
Working
or
with you in partnerships.
yeah, so we've actually partnered with several similar companies that do what we do. We actually acquired a company that essentially was doing the same thing that we were doing, but they came from the real estate space. So it was a company made up of several real estate investors, and they started diving into e-commerce. And ultimately, we ended up acquiring them, but we do work with several affiliates of Angora that are they have their own companies, but they're in different industries, whether that's real estate or stocks or whatever it may be.
Yeah. So you talked a little bit about like that lead gen from the beginning and now client referrals. How have you been able to build Angora's brand?
Yeah, I think, really it just comes down to the product.
Hmm.
There's a concept called product-led growth where people talk about, letting your product basically sell itself. And if you have a really good product, it's so much easier to build a brand around that product. And essentially that's what we've done. We've, been able to refine and optimize our service offering and our products to a point where, people are actively talking about it.
Hmm.
Oftentimes people talk about the investments they're making or the businesses they're involved in.
Hmm.
And really that's how we've been able to build some reputability um, and a consistent flow of referrals and being able to constantly grow our portfolio.
Hmm. So talking about product-led growth, it sounds like
Mhm.
a lot of the foundation of Angora, the most important thing was starting from that foundation, making it was solid, and then scaling up.
Yes, exactly. So, the first 2 years was just really just refining the product,
Hmm.
refining the service offering. And then from there, we were really able to capitalize on client acquisition with referrals. And like I said, it's, with such a good product, the client acquisition is so much easier.
Hmm.
And really that's why we focus so heavily on the product and the service offering.
Hmm. Hmm. Talking about the product and the service offering, is there a certain level of product or a certain size company that you tend to see Angora working with more?
Yeah, not really. We service a wide variety of people.
Yeah.
It's from, people that have never sold on Amazon before, and they start with one product, all the way to people that have, 80,000 products on Amazon.
Hmm.
And so it really ranges all over the spectrum as
Yeah.
far as, what size of business they have.
Yeah. Interesting. I was thinking about it and I was curious because I'm like, there's really so many different sizes it sounds like Angora can cover.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, interesting. So if someone were to wanted to check out Angora, where would they go?
Yeah, so I think the easiest place is our website. It's joinangora.com. And then as far as social media goes, it's Angora _ HQ on Instagram. Then I think it's just Angora everywhere else.
Nice, sweet. So, Ben, if you were to leave our listeners with one little nugget of information, or word to the wise, what would you want to let our listeners know either about Angora or kind of about the industry itself?
Yeah, as far as the industry itself, like if someone were to uh, dive into e-commerce, I would say at the end of the day, the most important thing is the product. If you don't have a good product, then it's impossible to sell. And even on Amazon, like when we are selling products on Amazon, it's such a customer focused platform that if you have a product that's substandard, then it will quickly become known to everyone else shopping on Amazon with reviews and with ranking. And so, my biggest recommendation is really in this industry and ultimately whatever you do is to have a refined product that is it's uh, you're able to have a compelling offering with that product, if that makes sense. And then from there, like everything else really falls into place.
Yeah, totally. Well, Ben, this has been a great conversation kind of about e-commerce, that it's a new world to me. So kind of understanding that and about Angora. I really appreciate you taking the time to be on Business Ninjas.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much.